Hallo, assalamu alaikum, good morning, khushamdeed, ji ayanu, goedemorgen.
Bagheer ni hao, Junashumme, Washmale, Ohio Gonzaimas, Guten Morgen, Ola, Bonjour, Privyet, Kaifa hal, Hale Shumat Chatore, Ahlan Wasalan Marhaba. Junashumme, Washmale, Ohio Gonzaimas, Guten Morgen, Ola, Bonjour. And a very warm welcome to everybody who's actually tuned into PTV World and watching World this morning alongside the very fantastic, the very aptly dressed today, ladies and gentlemen, Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Hello Shiza, how are you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely great. Thank you so much for asking. And I feel like you dished me the last moment because we were both supposed to dress formal. Well, in my head, I know it's my problem because I didn't convey it to him. But for the next time, maybe we can decide.
All right. Okay, since you've actually brought it up in front of our audiences, so this is one thing which I'm going to ask the audience. So audience, you know, what you have to do is that you have to log on to our Facebook page on World This Morning, and you have to come and let us know whether, have you ever witnessed Shiza wearing a suit on World This Morning? You know, this is the only question I'm going to ask. This is the very first time that she's actually wearing a suit. And I was like to her,
suit. Like I've had blazers and stuff, but not a complete
but I was like to her, are you here to read news? She was like, no, I'm here to do the show. And I was like, wow, you look fabulous. But yes, other than that, you look very smart.
Thank you so much.
And I think that this is how women need to dress up, you know, if you're doing an English morning show.
Absolutely, no? I totally agree with you. And Shahzad, do you agree with me that, I mean, what you're wearing, what the attire that you're carrying actually has a great impact on your attitude for the rest of the day as well? Is that true?
Yeah, that's very true as well, because, you know, we men, we wear a lot of suits, and, you know, every now and then whenever we go to a wedding or go anywhere else, man, I think that's the safest decision that we can do. And, you know, this is one thing which I was even thinking yesterday as well, that suits, ladies and gentlemen, are a piece of cloth which needs very less maintenance. And it's because of the fact you wear them, you go back home, you take them off, you hang them again, and that's it. You know, there's no dust involved, there's no washing involved, there's nothing, you know, so it's just there. But it totally depends on you. But yes, where you said that, you know, it totally sets the mood and the tone of the day. Whenever you wear a suit, you really want to be in that feel as well. I mean, that's with me, and I think that it is pretty much the case as well. But for me, when I wear such stuff, you can see that the energy is actually overflowing. Right. So yeah, it depends. You know, with the kind of dress you're wearing, it is directly proportional to the kind of energy you will have for the rest of the day.
I do agree with that, but actually reminds me of a very funny story. It's sort of a gender-based joke, but not too offensive, I promise you guys.
All right.
So just, I think a few days back, I was watching the monologue for Chris, that Chris Rock did for probably Oscars. And, you know, so that year, there was sort of a controversy going on, you know, people or journalists are not allowed to ask women who they're wearing or what they're wearing. You know, it's such a general question. And then he was like, no one's ever going to ask men what they're wearing because all 300 of them will be wearing the same suit. But if one of them came out wearing an ostrich dress or a dress with feathers, definitely everyone will be asking them who you're wearing or what you're wearing. So it's all about being unique, ladies and gentlemen. It has nothing to do with gender. So, well, I just remember.
Exactly. Thank you very much for saying that as well. But at this point, ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've actually been once again joined by one of our very amazing producers as well. Just because of Corona, he was not able to be on the show. Waqas Bangash, we welcome you. It's a very warm welcome. I'm sorry that I actually have to say warm, but yes, I think that since we are on television, we have to say this. We definitely did miss you as well, and we want your expertise to be around us. We always want you to be around the show as well. He's in my ear and he's saying thank you, which means that, you know, this is enough.
It's game.
But yeah, it's good to have you back. You know, when your team comes back and when you have, you know, all of the team members around you and you talk it out with them, that this is something we are doing, I think that this is fabulous. And the only reason why I'm saying so is that, ladies and gentlemen, over here in the past decades, we have seen that this trend of having a team or a larger team is actually no more to be seen. Usually wherever or whatever institution I go into, we see people who are actually one-man shows. And this is something which we do not want if we want Pakistan to develop. We want a team who's actually ready and willing to work under the leadership of whoever the current boss is.
Absolutely.
So I think that this is something which everybody needs to do. And one last thing before we move on, and that is that if you have decided to do something, this is something which I have always made sure that this is a rule I'm going to stick to, that if I'm going to commit to something, I'm going to give my 100%. It's not that I will say, okay, you know, I'm going to do this, and then, you know, I do it 50% or 20% or 30%. If you're committing to something, make sure that you give in your 100%.
And that is the way it should be, Shahzad. I mean, definitely, if you are going to, if you have decided to invest your energies into something, then you should actually totally commit to it as well. And speaking about the team, Shahzad, what I absolutely love about this specifically, and trust me, you guys, I'm not lying, but like, I know it sounds generic, but all of my team members are actually like really passionate about what they're doing. So also, if we're talking about the producers, they wanted to be producers and they wanted to produce content that makes an effect. Same about the researcher, who's also an associate producer now. Same about you, Shahzad. You all guys inspire me as well.
And same goes for you as well.
Thank you so much. But speaking of good things that have been happening to Pakistan, well, two brave, amazing men have happened to Pakistan. Of course, they happened a few years ago, but now they've actually made a name for themselves. And now, mashallah, mashallah, they're so popular for their bravery and valor that they portrayed yesterday. Yes, I'm talking about the two brave policemen from Sindh Police as well yesterday, who were, well, we know there was an unfortunate terrorist attack on our stock index as well in Karachi. And, well, within 8 minutes, I think the terrorists were taken down. I mean, shot in the head as well. This was a brilliant response to any single institution or organization even thinking to, you know, affect the economy of Pakistan or the dignity or sovereignty of Pakistan. So, well, hats off to those
yes, hats off to those
policemen.
brave sons of the soil as well. And you guys have done a phenomenal job in foiling the entire terrorist attack as well. So, may Allah be with all of you as well. And, you know, ladies and gentlemen, you know, such are the heroes we really need to sing about as well. But now, very quickly, coming towards what we are talking about today. Ladies and gentlemen, what we are about to talk about today is something which I think every Pakistani is aware of. It is a career path everybody wants to opt for, but it's not everybody's cup of tea. They say that it's difficult, but then we see people emerging, you know, even from the same family, we have seen 5 people passing this particular examination. Ladies and gentlemen, we are actually talking about CSS examinations today because we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by people who are lucky enough to pass this examination, have had their allocations to wherever or whichever offices they will be taking. But then at the same time, there are a lot of confusions, as in, you know, whenever somebody, you know, plans to do CSS, they're like, okay, which academy to go to, which subjects to opt for. Half of the time people are confused because they don't know whether how many attempts they have, what is the age cap as well, you know. So for all of those things, we thought that why not we hear it from the horse's mouth directly.
Let's do
so
it.
this is something which we have done today for everybody who's actually planning to be a CSS. Ladies and gentlemen, for all of those people who are out there, we really need to tell you this is the Superior Service Exam. You know, these people are true bureaucrats, to be very honest, and the available post is from BS 17 and the highest is BS 22 as well, the grade. And for anybody who actually makes it to the grade 22 is either a federal secretary or a provincial secretary as well. And just to let you know, just the nutshell, for somebody who's actually a provincial secretary can be assumed as the king of the province, you know. So this is something which I'm telling you. So this is the most highly valued service over here in Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, and elsewhere in the world. You know, this is how things work and this is how we develop bureaucrats. So we have bureaucrats in the making. They have passed their examinations, they have passed their interviews as well. So we'll be asking them some amazing questions as in how and whether I can be a CSS officer or not. You know, if my father, I was just thinking, if my father would have pushed me before my 30s, I think I would have done it.
You would have, like, did you ever want to appear in the exams?
Yeah, I think I would have done it. Yeah.
Did you know what? Ever since I graduated my bachelor's, so my dad was like, "Muqable ka imtihan dena hai aapne," you know, the CSS exam. I was like, I'm never interested in that. I'll either be like a journalist or something in the education sector, probably, you know, but never, never, never I'm going to take CSS. He was like, I'm never going to believe in your strength unless and until you take the CSS. So, well, Baba, let's see. Anyway, right now we're really, really lucky to have been joined by these young bureaucrats. Can I say that?
Yes.
So, you mind introducing them?
All right, so
and you know, the good thing is, Shahzad, so sorry, I'm cutting you over here. When you mentioned that they're, mashallah, so brilliant, they passed the exam, but they're also so brave that one of them spoke of reappearing. Imagine that. I can't even think of it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, for me, I was always the kind of student that, okay, you know, if 33% is the passing marks, I was happy with 40%. And I would never think of taking the subject again. In fact, I would be like, okay, where are the books? Just keep them somewhere where I cannot see them. But yes, then at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, we have people who are passionate and are dedicated to achieve whatever they have had in their heads or whatever goals they have had. But ladies and gentlemen, finally, since they have achieved that goal, you know, they're over here in the studios with me. In the first place, ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by Ms. Urwa Anam. Hello, Assalamu Alaikum, good morning.
Assalamu Alaikum ji. Thank you so much for inviting me in your show, and it is great to see you. And
congratulations also.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for joining us. And not just that, alongside her, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually been joined by somebody who's going to be a bureaucrat, inshallah, in the near future as well. But there's an interesting part, and that is that, you know, this particular gentleman, after passing his BA examination, went to a madrasa and, you know, kept at it. You know, he did his master's in Arabic language as well. And then later on, he thought that, okay, probably, you know, I should actually appear in CSS examination. and he appeared with such a will that he actually knew that he's going to pass the examination beforehand as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by Hafiz Masab as well. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Walaikum salam, good morning too. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank
It's
you
our
very much
pleasure
for
and
joining.
congratulations to you as well.
Thank you so much.
So the first question over here, I'm very sorry,
please,
Shilpa, but
no
this is
problem.
something which I need to ask. So on the day when you knew that the result's going to be out, what were you feeling? And when you got to know that you've actually passed the CSS examination, how did you feel and what was the response you got from your family?
Actually, at that day, I was very afraid that if I'm not being allocated, because in Punjab there are lesser seats and more candidates, so there are chances that you are not being allocated.
Yeah.
But fortunately, I was allocated. But when I came to know about the result, and I was in IRS group, Inland Revenue Services, so I was little bit disappointed because I wanted to have being allocated into the Pakistan Administrative Service, and that was my dream job. So I will try again for that as well, but now I'm happy because this was my second priority. So I have achieved this, and I'm happy for that, and I thank to Allah because this is because of Allah's will.
Indeed.
And my parents.
And your, I want to say, the efforts that you put in as well, that too. But Urva, you belong to somewhere in South Punjab. Is it Pakar?
Yes.
Yeah, you mentioned as well.
Yes.
Now, you're coming from an area where I want to say not a lot of people I know have been into the CSS or taken the CSS exam as well. So were you inspired by someone? Do you have anyone in the family who had took the exam as well?
My first inspiration was my uncle. He was in government service. He was director, and but I didn't know that I wanted to become like him. But I didn't know that how I am going to do that.
Okay.
So later, when after my graduation, my brother asked me to do CSS, and I said, okay, I will try. I should try that. And I started preparing for CSS after my graduation. During my, this is my second job. I'm doing currently a job as assistant director. Previously, I was in prisons department. So during these two jobs, I appeared 2 times in CSS. And this time I got through this, and in the first attempt I wasn't able to make it. But that was my first inspiration, and in my area there is no CSP. Actually, I'm the first one.
Congratulations again.
Thank you so much. I'm the first one, and I think the reason is that the success, the recipe of the success should be changed. In my area, most of the students they do not go to the hostels or away from home. And I was a daughter of my father, but he sent me to the hostels at that time after my matriculation, and it was a great thinking that he, against the norms of the family and the society, that
especially
he
from
should
South
not.
Punjab and Bakar. Yeah.
Yes, I'm from a village basically, and in that village there is no nothing like that. The daughters
Wonderful.
should go to the hostels, and as
I can see
But
the
you have-
happiness of success on your face.
No,
and,
but
you know,
also
that's
you
wonderful.
guys have defeated so many odds, you along with your family. So actually I want to take this moment to congratulate your father, your brothers you mentioned,
thank
your
you.
entire family, because they are the real support system behind this. And I know, you know what, I sort of belong to South Punjab now. I know the mentality of the people over there, whatever is going on. Even if your dad did take a step, 1,000 people would be there to tell him, na karo, beti hai, blah, blah, blah. So congratulations, uncle, once again. This was absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
Now, I do want to get back to so many questions of the things that you said, but before that, Hafiz Saab, coming to you, your story is absolutely inspirational. I mean, it is really, now this is one of the cases that I've never heard before. So I want you to take us to the journey from your BA forward.
Yes, after FSC I joined Madrasa, where I memorized the Holy Quran.
Okay.
After FSC I got admission in BA in Government College, Peshawar.
Okay.
After BA I decided to get admission in Madrasa, where I could learn some religious knowledge and all this Dars Nizami. But one of my friend who let me to Islamia College Peshawar, from where I done my master in Arabic.
Yeah.
And after having inspired with one of my teacher, who told me that you have the potential to give CSS exam, and you could pass CSS exam. So I decided to appear in Central Superior Service exam.
Yeah.
So after that, I was quite sure that I could work hard, and I could get through CSS exam. And after this was my third attempt. In first attempt, I failed 5 papers.
All right.
Okay.
In second attempt, I failed 3 papers. And in third attempt, I qualified, and I allocated in Police Service of Pakistan, which are the top two groups of civil services.
Oh wow, that's
so
amazing. Amazing.
it's very fortunate that I'm allocated in Police Service of Pakistan.
Mashallah.
And I'm in merit. I'm in KPK. I'm in 6th position.
Wow.
Oh.
And two candidates were allocated in police service. One of them is this gentleman.
Wow.
I feel so belittled, man.
Yeah, and it's wonderful. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, I think that what everybody needs to know out here, or you know, for all of those people who are actually not from Pakistan and watching us on their television screens as well, that thousands and thousands of people apply every year. We are actually talking about people. You know, more 30,000 people might have applied. More than 35,000 people have applied. And so imagine that scoring a position in such an examination is difficult, and it's hard as well. But now let's very quickly, you know, go through the process.
Yeah.
Now, for all of those people who are actually going to give their first attempt this year around for the Central Superior Service examination, now let's set a path for them. You know, what kind of subjects do they really need to think about? Which academies do you think they need to go to? Or do you think that academies actually help or not? You know, so this is the kind of conversation we want to have. So for all of those people, first of all, what is the age criteria? You know, for how till what age can we actually be able to appear in the exam? This is something which we need to talk. And since there is no gender discrimination amongst the Central Superior Service examination, I think it's for men and women both, and everybody can be a part of this Pakistan's economy building engine as well. So please, let's get started. Tell us a little.
First of all, the age requirement, that is up to 30 years. Okay. And if you are doing a government job, then you can apply up to 32 years.
For both gender.
For both gender. And then you were asking about the academies. Yes, if you can go to any teacher, any academy for direction, that is okay. But you have to put your effort in it. You cannot just totally depend on the academies or the teachers. You have to.
What do we mean by the direction? You know, so the teachers will only be giving us a direction. But what direction is that?
The direction means that what subject should you choose according to your background, according to your interest, and how to tackle. Essay paper is very important, and how to tackle what is the structure of the essay paper, and what are the problems students, what are the mistakes students make in the essay paper. So these are these directions will be given by the teachers. But after that, you have to increase your knowledge. You have to put your efforts, and then you will be able to do that. And if you don't have any resources or sources, and you cannot go to an academy or teachers, that is okay. Wherever you are, you can do that. You can go through the course outlines, and then you will come to know that these are the subjects, and you can easily handle. So opt those subjects and then go for them and try. I think everybody can do that, and every student can do that. I must say.
More than 20-21
But
subjects.
You're making it sound so easy, but it's not really that easy. You're, mashallah, brilliant. That's why you think so. But Hafsab, you mentioned that in your first attempt, you probably didn't pass 5 exams. So for all those who are watching right now, how many are you supposed to pass? And then I want you to answer, since you said you have studied Arabic and then religion as well. So according to that, what were the subjects that you chose to appear in?
Actually, I spent time in madrasas, and I was familiar with Arabic. So I decided to choose such subjects which could help me in interviews,
Right.
and it could not become it could not affect my interview. They should not decide that this person is extremist or just
Not
he just read Islamic books. So I decided to choose political science and constitutional law, US history, gender studies, and Arabic, because I was postgraduated in Arabic. Therefore, I opted Arabic language.
Amazing.
So even for the first year?
The
first attempt?
Yes, in first attempt. And I, throughout my 3 attempts, my whole subjects remained the same.
Okay. Same with you?
Simultaneously, I have given a PMS exam, Provincial Management Service, where I passed the exam, and I was not allocated before CSS final
Allah
result.
had something better for you.
Yes, so I was somehow disappointed, but I was satisfied that I have attempted papers very nice, so I was sure that I would be located in Pakistan Administrative Service or Police Service of Pakistan. So fortunately, I was allocated in
and that's
police
wonderful.
service.
So how many subjects do we have to prepare for? So there are compulsory subjects, and then there are some subjects which we have to opt for. So in total, how many subjects do we have to appear in?
and clear too.
Yes, we have 6 compulsory subjects, English essay, English Presi, then General Science and Ability, Pakistan Affairs, Current Affairs and Islamiyat. Then there are 6 optional subjects you have to choose, and there are 40 subjects overall, and there are 7 groups, out of which you can choose any 600 mark subjects. So it is up to you, and people choose different subjects according to their interests and according to their backgrounds.
Yeah.
All right, that's
wonderful.
brilliant.
Yeah, I'm very sorry, but you know, this is something which I would like to do, you know,
Okay.
and I think that this will be interesting as
Yeah.
well. I don't know whether I'll be able to pull it off or not, but can we ask you a few general knowledge questions about Pakistan as well, and just to test your ability, whether you still remember something from the books or not?
On a lighter
Are you
note.
guys ready for that?
Okay.
Do you have questions?
Yes, I do have
Okay.
questions, but right now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll actually be heading out towards a short break. I mean, you guys will come back. We'll try asking them a few questions, and it's not that we are judging them, but it's totally depending on you, whether you want to judge them or not. All right, let's go for a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to World This Morning, ladies and gentlemen, with Shazad Khan and Shaza Hashmi, where today we are in awe and totally inspired by these very amazing guests we have over here in the studio, the very youngest bureaucrats of Pakistan right now.
Yes, exactly. But ladies and gentlemen, before going towards a smart break or a short break, what we did was that we over here at the program got this idea that we're going to test the ability of our very youngest bureaucrats as well, who actually just recently have passed their examinations, CSS examinations, have been allocated to whichever departments they will be going. So what we thought was that why not take an IQ test and let's see for ourselves whether these individuals are really smart or not. So do you want me to start with you?
Yes, please.
All right. That's the kind
She's
of confidence.
ever ready.
That's the kind of confidence a bureaucrat bears as well, or is the bearer of such a confidence. What is always, this is an IQ question, what is always coming but never arrives?
Oh, I know this.
Or you can answer this as well. You know, whoever gets the answer.
It's not really scientific, it's
I
like
know.
just a riddle types.
Okay.
What is always coming but never comes? Look, what is always coming but never comes?
Future.
Yes.
Very close.
But very
Time.
close.
No.
So we are living in today.
Yeah.
Yes. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Okay.
yeah, that's it.
Brilliant.
That was a good one. Moving on to you, Hafizah. What can be broken but is never held?
could not understand.
Again.
You know, okay, I'm going to help you over here as well. You know, we cannot be this rude to our guests as well. So, you know, this is something when we commit to someone that, you know, okay, this is something which I will do for you. What do we call it?
Promise.
Yes,
Promise,
a promise, a promise, yes. All right, I think that both the bureaucrats are actually trying to help each other, which is great. But what is it that lives if it is fed and dies if you give it a drink?
Oh, it's really easy.
Yeah.
Please, can you ask again?
Yes.
Lives when
What is
fed.
it that lives if it is fed and dies if you give it a drink?
Okay.
You know it. I mean,
Okay, so this is the only hint I have for you guys. You know, come on.
do you know
We use it in
Mas?
winters. What do we cook on chapati?
Fire.
Fire! Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much for saying that. What word would you use to describe a man who does not have all his fingers on one hand?
What?
This is the most brilliant question I've ever asked. उस इंसान को क्या कहेंगे who does not have all his fingers on one, जिसकी
Mas,
सारी
this is
उंगलियां
a-
एक हाथ पे ना हो? Normal. All right, there's only one question wrong, ladies and gentlemen. What can one catch that is not thrown? हम क्या कैच कर सकते हैं जो हमारी तरफ फेंका नहीं जाता?
Flu?
Yes!
Oh, wow.
I think you're doing a wonderful job as well.
Mashallah, I can be a
Okay,
bureaucrat.
so this is the last question.
Okay.
What is it that if you have, you want to share me, and if you share, you do not have? Hafiz साहब, this is for you. What is it that if you have, कौन सी ऐसी चीज़ है जो आपके पास होती है, आप उसको शेयर करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन जैसे ही आप शेयर करते हैं, वो चीज़ खत्म हो जाती है?
Your secret?
Yes!
Oh wow!
That's wonderful.
I didn't know the answer actually.
No,
I
but
was-
this question is for Hafiz Saab only, okay?
Yeah.
You know, you've done wonderfully well, exceptionally well. Hafiz Saab, come on, you need to score this one, okay? If a plane crashes on the border between the United States and Canada, where do they bury the survivor?
Survival would not be buried.
Yes! Wow, that's wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, obviously they are exceptional, and there's a reason why they've actually been able to pass the CSS examination as well.
But this was
you guys
just
have
an
done a
enlightenment,
wonderful
of
job.
course.
Congratulations to you guys. We do not do gift hampers, but we do coffee after the show. Yes.
We will definitely do that. But now coming back to some of the very important, basic ones, but very important questions that I need you guys to answer firsthand. You know, Urva, when we talk about quotas, so when these 5 amazing sisters were trending all over the social media, it's a great achievement for Pakistan. Again, congratulations to the family. But as usual, there were some negative elements hating on the quota system. So you tell me, first of all, when we talk about Punjab, since South Punjab also falls in Punjab,
Yes.
what is the total number of seats, and what do you think about, like, are you satisfied with it?
Actually, the quota system, the quota is according to population.
Yeah.
In Punjab, 50% of population in Punjab and Islamabad capital territory, there is 50% of quota. But the students who passed the written examination, they are more than the seats. So every year it happens that 150, this time 150 students who passed the exam and the interview as well, they were unable to have a seat, and they were not allocated. So this is a horrible thing, and for the Punjab people, for the Punjab students, and this is very discouraging. Actually, if you are from Punjab and you have tried for this, but you are still saying that I don't know whether I will be allocated or not. So in the southern Punjab, where the people who are not having the same abilities, same facilities, then but with the same abilities, but when they have to compete with the students who are living in the northern Punjab or the upper Punjab, then it becomes difficult for them. So there should be a different quota, separate quota for the southern Punjab students, so that they are easily allocated. The second thing is it is replicated in the Sindh. The Sindh style can be replicated here. In the Sindh rural and Sindh urban quota is present.
Oh, okay.
And the second thing, I want to give a suggestion that every year the students who are not being allocated, even they are from whether they are from KP or Punjab, they should be allocated in ex-cadre job.
Okay.
It will be very helpful, and they should know, and they should be encouraged by this, that if you have passed the written examination, you will be allocated somewhere. whether in the ex-cadre, there are 12 groups in the cadre job. So in the ex-cadre job as well, it can be done. So it is very discouraging, and a lot of students they are very it is very disheartening actually, because they know that.
So imagine 150 people actually worked so hard, passed the examination, and then they were just left out because of the fact that the quota was over. So I think that you've definitely raised a very valid point as well.
Right.
I know that we still want to dig in a little more into it as well, but I just want to very quickly ask this question. I happen to have a lot of friends who actually have passed the CSS examinations as well. A few of them are ACs in different parts of the country. But there's this one thing which I've realized that usually people who actually have been able to pass the CSS examination belong to the very rural areas. This is one thing which I've noticed for sure. But not just that, what I've noticed more is that now people who are actually coming from rural areas, they have their own agendas, and which is why they want to do CSS examination, because some want authority. Do not want to say the later part as well, but this is something which I've witnessed very closely as well, that people who actually are from rural areas, because there is the environment is very political with their families, and they want one of their son or daughter to be at such a position so that they can have a control or probably have a stronger say as well. How are you guys going to promise, or how do you guys make a promise, or how all of those bureaucrats actually stay on their path as well and make sure that they're not going to be a part of any kind of corruption, because you guys are the ones on which Pakistan is totally dependent?
Actually, I think this is a very sweeping statement, that all the people who come from the rural
Generally
areas,
speaking,
generally speaking, but I think there are good and bad people everywhere, and you need to understand that how you are going to tackle when you are given the authority. My objective was never to become never wanted to become a civil servant. I wanted to help the people in my area, because I have not only witnessed, but I have gone through a lot of problems in the rural area. So the first objective of my life was that I should help these people, and I think civil services will provide me the broader window through which I can help the people. The second thing was, in my area, I wanted to help I wanted to become an example for the girls, that you should send your daughters to the schools, and then they can also bring respect to you. And then the second part of the question was that the corruption and all these things are present. Yes, they are present, but I think we cannot change the human nature. We should have a accountability mechanism this much strong, that if anybody wants to do this, then he should be controlled by that mechanism.
So do we have any measures with which we can actually control such an incident?
Yes, we have. There are a lot of departments we are actually doing that, but I think there should be a broadening, and the corruption in those departments is also present. So first of all, that should be eradicated.
All right.
I mean, you know what? This is actually such a long debate. I really don't want to get into the dirty parts of it. But Maz, you can of course answer this question. I have a lot of other questions for you. To begin with, this is sort of a myth. Correct me if I'm wrong, and don't correct me if I'm right. So for all the people I've been in conversation with about CSS, when they talk about the essay questions, people tend to realize, or people have, let's say, gotten an idea of the fact that if you really use like basic vocabulary or simple terms and stuff, you will make through the exam. But if you like really super extra efficient and really hard with the words and everything, maybe there are chances that the person who is checking your exam not be, he's not acquainted with those terms of vocabulary. Is it a thing, first of all? Should we be really basic and I want to say normal in our vocabulary? And
then I want to add to this as well. And what I'm going to do is that since more than 30,000 people are actually applying, or whatever the figure is, how do you think it is possible for a teacher to check 30,000 examinations and or probably read all of those essays? I don't get it. Do you think, or do you have the faith to believe that that the system is doing whatever the system is doing is fine?
Yes, actually there are 10 essays in essay paper.
Okay.
Candidates attempt one of them, and there is a criteria for every essay. If a student or a candidate is suitable, or he is fulfilling that criteria, so he would pass easily that essay paper, and there is no need of writing such difficult
fancy
words, or it's not necessary.
Okay.
One could write in easy words. So essay paper is quite easy, but it requires one must read books, and one must practice writing. So it's quite easy then. So there is a criteria for that, and there is a transparency. One could not imagine that by cheating one could pass CSS exam. One could not imagine.
Okay.
By cheating one could not pass CSS exam. Through hard work and studies one could get through CSS. And essay paper, you asked that how a teacher could check that papers. So it's quite easy. Daily it's take much time. For instance, we have given exam in February, and a result comes in October.
Yeah.
So within 6-8 months, the examiner could easily check that papers, and every day they are checking 20 papers or 30 papers. More than they could not check because and they are very much experienced.
All right.
Once they read a candidate's essay, so they realize that this candidate is fulfilling that criteria.
Okay, brilliant. Now, Mas, let's talk about the interview.
Yeah.
So, of course, I want you to tell us all the basic details of what happened. But the first question will be, do they want to inquire about your personality, who you are as a person, or is the interview based on the subjects that you chose?
Subjects, and there are actually 3 interviews. One is psychological.
Oh.
Okay.
There are psychological interview is 2 days.
Okay.
One is written part and one is oral. And second, we have a final interview with members of Federal Public Service Commission. So in psychological interview, they check your personality, whether this candidate is he is not an extremist, and he is humble.
What kind of questions do they ask?
They ask like personality-based questions.
All right.
So
Do they ask you whether you're in love with
yes,
somebody?
they write.
Really,
Yes,
they
yes,
do?
yes,
Wow.
they ask.
They even ask that whether you are married or not, and whether
Are you
will
supposed to be unmarried too? Like,
No,
Okay.
that is not the
doesn't
requirement.
matter?
No,
Okay,
no, that
perfect.
doesn't matter.
Yes, go on.
So in psychological interview, they check your personality and they ask general questions. So they then write a report to the final interview members.
Yeah.
They read that report, and after that report, on the basis of that report, they give you marks and your. So this is
How was
it's
your
quite.
interview?
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's very
The interview
difficult.
part?
Yes, yes, very difficult.
I mean, it's very
Because-
nerve-wrecking, right?
Yes, yes. You have to be aware of everything happening around the world,
Yeah.
and
And they can ask you about anything.
Yes, anything.
Do you
anything
guys
they-
have a funny story or maybe a blunder to share
Yeah.
with us that you guys made? Because we're only humans, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm being nervous, we can make so many mistakes. Who's going to share first?
Yes,
Okay.
I was asked in psychological interview that according to Islamic point of view, what kind of girl would you like to be married?
Oh.
So I told them that Jamal ho, Kamal ho, Mal ho, but taqwa ko preference diya jayega.
Okay.
This was my response. So
Yeah.
it was quite
a fabulous
yes,
response.
funny
It's-
question.
it's brilliant.
It was-
And it's good because of the fact that you weren't actually highlighting the characteristic of a personality. You
Yes.
were actually talking about something which you were either gifted with or blessed by Allah Almighty. You know, Jamal or Mal or Husn and
Yes.
Taqwa is all by Allah Almighty as
Beautiful.
well. What about you? How was your interview?
In psychological interview, they asked that you are not still married, and what is the problem? Why your parents don't want you to get married? And they were just poking me, and I said that it is my choice that I am not married still. So they asked me that whether you will marry love marriage or arranged marriage, and some sort of question.
Right.
So this happened, but you have to manage somehow.
And you have to think of the answer like right at the moment because
Yeah.
you don't have another
Yes.
take as well.
Yeah, which is
Now-
why, you know, since you actually managed to go through the interview and you passed it as well, let's just ask you the same question again. So what kind of a guy do you want to get married to? Okay, you know, since he answered as well, let's ask you.
Okay, first of all, my parents, whoever he will be selected by my parents, and then I'll meet him.
But you might have a few requirements, you know, okay, you know,
he will-
Jamal
he-
ho, Mal ho, Taqwa ho, you know, all of that.
He must be educated
He
and
must.
open-minded because I have to work. So he should understand and he should
He
trust
will
me.
understand, man. Once he will get to know that you are a CSS officer, he will
Oh,
understand
mashallah.
everything, inshallah.
So towards the end, one of the last questions to both of you is, you both reappeared in this one and mashallah you got selected. So for all the people who are watching to seek inspiration, You did realize that these were the mistakes. If we didn't make in the first attempt, we would have passed in the first attempt. Which were those for you? Who's going to start? Whoever.
Actually, candidates are depending on resources which are not authentic.
Okay.
So there is a syllabus. These are the subjects, and there are recommended books from Federal Public Service Commission. So candidates should focus on recommended books. Rather, they should read from guides and all these things. So recommended books are necessary to be read. So once they read those books, so it's then quite easy they could
And
get
do we
through
exactly
CSS.
have to reproduce
Yes.
whatever we have read in the book or onto the paper, or is it like if we write in a way that we convince the person who's actually checking the examination? Because I mean, I just want to know whether it's more applied or it's more reproducing the same amount of.
Like, is it conceptual?
It's applied because the questions are not direct. They are analytical. So you have to apply. It
Have
is
your own
just about
approach
the
to it.
applied
Yes, yes.
knowledge.
So basically, there's no rata system.
No. And the second thing I want to share that in my first attempt I got failed in US history paper with 32 marks. So my all the other subjects were passed. So I did realize at that time that I think I haven't studied that well. But I thought that I should stand again and I should reappear. That is okay. Failure is actually learning. So that was a good learning experience. That is okay. If I
But
got
did you
failed.
take US history again?
Yes, I did
Oh,
take
nice.
US history again, and I scored well this year.
Mashallah.
Wow, that's wonderful. It was superb to have you guys over here in the studio,
Yeah,
and you know
so
you all,
inspirational.
you guys already have the body language of a bureaucrat, which I think is fabulous for you guys as well. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, since my father happens to be a bureaucrat as well, fortunately, alhamdulillah, you know, there's one thing which I've always realized, that they always have a very different body language,
Yeah.
and it's not really just like the way how people are from the armed forces, but it's very different. And the best part about my father is that he actually used to wear that kalaf ka kurta, you know, early in the morning, and you know, when he will be back at night, I wasn't able to see a single crease on his shirt.
Oh,
So
wow.
this is how their body language is. This is how they maintain themselves as well. But ladies and gentlemen, for everybody who wants or aspire to be a CSS officer or a bureaucrat for Pakistan, I think that the window is open for everybody. There's equal opportunity for men and women. It totally depends on how much hard work you're willing to put in.
Absolutely. Well, to do this show with these amazing people, Shahzad, as I already said, this was so inspirational for me. And I really hope this was helpful to a lot of people watching right now, because, you know, on all the social media platforms as well lately, this is the discussion going on.
Exactly.
People are either seeking help or people are either, you know, sharing their success stories. So thank you so much once again for being here, you guys. And if you still have any questions or any feedback or queries, write to us on our Facebook page with the name of
World This Morning.
on Twitter,
World This Morning without a G.
YouTube,
YouTube, you have to look for PTB World and then World This Morning.
and the repeat of this show you can catch at
5 past 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, 1, 2, 3.
Good morning. Stay safe.